Have you ever been in a moment where everything inside you was screaming to respond, but you didn't? Someone insulted you, challenged you, pushed your buttons, and yet something told you to stay still, not out of fear, not because you didn't have a comeback, but because you knew responding would cost you more than staying silent. This is where real power begins. The most powerful minds don't react, not because they're cold, not because they don't feel, but because they've mastered one truth. Reacting gives your opponent control. When you react, you reveal. You show your hand. You give away your emotional blueprint. And in a world where attention is a currency, your reaction is the price. Powerful people don't pay that price. They understand that silence isn't emptiness, it's calculation. Every second you stay silent while someone is trying to provoke you, they become more desperate. They start filling the silence with noise. They try harder, talk faster, push more. But you're building pressure. You're becoming unreadable, unpredictable, unshakable. The ones who last in this world are not the loudest. They're the most disciplined, because the world isn't kind to reactors. It punishes the impulsive. It rewards the composed. So next time someone tries to pull a reaction out of you, pause, not to run, not to back down, but to choose the most dangerous response possible. None at all. Most people think reacting makes them strong, that speaking up, clapping back, defending yourself, it proves you're powerful. But here's the truth. If someone can make you react, they already control you. They don't need to beat you. They just need to pull you into their world. Reacting is entering their territory. You start playing their game with their rules on their terms. And once you're there, you've already lost. Because real power doesn't play games. It waits. It watches. It lets others show their cards first. That's what the most powerful minds do. They let others speak first, move first, strike first, because in that first move, they reveal everything. And when you say nothing, you see everything. Your silence becomes a weapon. It unnerves them. They start to question their attack. Their confidence fades. Their rhythm breaks. Because silence creates confusion. People expect noise, reactions, drama. But when you stay quiet, they lose their script. They don't know what to do with silence, so they fill it with mistakes. The longer you hold back, the more power you gain, not just over them, but over yourself. You learn to master your own emotions, to delay your impulse, to act when it's time, not just when you're provoked. This is emotional warfare, and in this war, silence is not absence, it's dominance. Here's what they don't tell you. The moment you speak, you reveal yourself, your tone, your pace, your insecurities. Even your silence has a voice, but once you break it, It starts talking for you. Most people aren't aware of the signals they send when they respond. A word said too fast, a shaky breath, a glance sideways. These are not just reactions, they're confessions. But when you stay silent, you say nothing and reveal nothing. You don't give them fuel. You don't offer a map of your emotions. You don't let them see what hurts you, and that frustrates them more than any insult ever could. Because people want to know your weaknesses. They're searching for soft spots. They want a button to push, and if you don't give them one, they panic. They talk more. They get louder. They try harder to provoke. But every time they act out and you don't flinch, you win. That's not just silence. That's pressure. Pressure they can't understand. Pressure they can't break. Because what kind of person just sits there, completely still, and doesn't react? A dangerous one. Powerful minds know when to stay still, not because they're afraid, but because they don't need to prove anything. They've already decided how this ends, and by saying nothing, they've already won. If you feel the weight of silence, subscribe now, because the next move will change everything. They will accuse you of being cold, of being arrogant, of thinking you're better than everyone else. Let them, because people fear what they don't understand. And silence, that's the most misunderstood weapon of all. We live in a world where reacting is expected. Someone insults you, you clap back. Someone disrespects you, you explain yourself. Someone pushes your limits, you push back. But that cycle, it makes you predictable. It makes you ordinary. True power doesn't respond. It prepares. When a powerful mind hears an insult, it doesn't react. It calculates. It studies. It asks, what does this person gain from my reaction? And if the answer is control, it gives them nothing. Because once you react, you're no longer in control. You've let the outside world dictate your internal state, and powerful minds never give that up. They understand that silence doesn't mean acceptance. It means calculation. Think of the greatest chess players. They don't rush their moves. They don't respond in emotion. They sit. They observe. They wait until they see the opportunity that ends the game. And that's the game you're playing, not with pieces on a board, but with emotions in real life. Every move you make reveals your mindset, so the less you reveal, the more they fear. The most dangerous players are the quietest ones, not because they don't feel, but because they don't bleed in public. They've learned the discipline of silence, the control of restraint, the advantage of giving nothing away, and in a world that feeds off reactions, they win by starving it. People think silence is easy. They think it means doing nothing, but that's the trap. because real silence isn't absence, it's effort. It's choosing not to text back when your ego is screaming. It's staying still when every part of you wants to lash out. It's sitting through discomfort without trying to erase it. And that takes more power than yelling ever could. Weak minds explode, strong minds absorb. And when the strongest minds absorb enough, they don't break, they evolve. See, the moment you stop needing to react, you become untouchable, because nobody can trigger what you don't give access to. They call you emotionless. They call you detached. They say you've changed. They're right. You've stopped performing for their approval. You've stopped giving them control, because you've realized the person who reacts always loses, not always on the outside, but inside, in their focus, in their clarity, in their self-respect. A strong mind doesn't allow chaos in. It watches chaos from a distance. It doesn't dance with every fire that's lit. It waits until the fire burns out. And most fires do, if you don't feed them. So now when they come for you with noise and drama, you give them silence. When they scream for attention, you stay still, because they feed off your energy, and when you starve them, they shrink. That's how a powerful mind wins, not with force, not with defense, but with unshakable stillness. And when you stop defending yourself, they start doubting themselves. The mind that doesn't react builds its own rhythm. It doesn't chase validation. It doesn't seek revenge. It doesn't get dragged into every emotional storm. It becomes its own climate. While others rush to defend their image, this mind focuses on truth. While others get loud to prove their strength, this one stays calm because it knows. And that's the difference between noise and power. You see, the most powerful people don't need the last word. They don't need to win arguments. They need to win clarity, because clarity guides action, and reaction is just noise. The world teaches you to speak up, but power teaches you to choose when and if you speak at all. Most minds are slaves to impulse. Strong minds make impulse their servant. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this: if they can make you react, they own you for a moment. But if you stay silent, you own yourself forever. Stillness is not inactivity. It's dominance in its highest form. And in that stillness you hear everything. You see everything. You decide everything, not them. Because real strength doesn't show itself. It doesn't scream. It doesn't warn. It just waits. And when it moves, everything changes. Now ask yourself, if silence is the most powerful move, why do so many people still fear it? If you're ready to master this power, not just understand it, subscribe now and let your next move be your quietest. and most unstoppable yet.